Pacers' depth chart is incredible. Their bench looks really, really good. Could arguably be one of the best benches in the entire league. But their defense leaves a lot to be desired. They've got one of the worst defenses in the league, but I think they're confident in themselves to be able to outgun the opposition and score more points than them, which I don't know how that will work out in playoff situations or in playoff basketball. But at the end of the day, I think, they trust that what they've got, the chemistry that they've got in that team. There's no egos. Tyrese brings the group together, gets everyone involved, knows which guys need the ball in their hands at certain situations, knows when guys haven't had touches or haven't had many shots in that particular quarter or on a given night, and he makes sure that they get involved over the course of a game. So, obviously, look at Obi Toppin, he's a starter, but what Tyrese has been able to do in extracting the best out of Obi Toppin, had that 27-point game against the Sixers, run and gun. Isaiah Jackson did a really good job holding his own against Joel Embiid, and was a big reason as to why they obviously came home with the win that game. Then you got guys like Jalen Smith come off the bench.
Love that guy.
TJ McConnell, Andrew Nemhard as a backup point guard, getting doubles off the bench. Naismith, yeah, he's underrated. Buddy Hield, he's been in a bit of a slump the last few games, but I think we know what Buddy Hield's capable of, and we know how good of a shooter he is, and on any given night, he can obviously get hot. So then you got guys like Jordan Nwora, who don't really play much. Jarris Walker, their top 10 draft pick, who's playing in the G League at one point, and Ben Shepherd, who's a really good shooter out of Belmont. Their bench extends far. Obviously, they don't utilize every single player on their bench on any given night, but at the same time, they know that they've got those resources at their disposal. And the fact that Daniel Tice, who we know is a capable backup center in the league.
Clippers now, isn't he?
Yeah, and he couldn't even get minutes at the Pacers. It just shows how stacked they were in their rotation pieces. So, yeah, they look really good, but their defense does need to be addressed, at least trying to get as many stops as possible. But again, I was listening to Tyrese on Old Man in the Three, and he was saying, it's so hard because everyone's running and gunning, it's just you're bound to let in points, you know what I mean? And I think with how the freedom of movement side of it, the rules, the way they are, defense is a lot harder to play than it was once upon a time. But not to say that there isn't any defense being played. There's just the defensive schemes and, the way that, NBA teams utilize offensive schemes to counteract that. It's hard. So, as long as they can continue to outrun and outgun teams, I think they'll be in a really good position. Yeah.
I feel like their depth chart as a whole, they have some really valuable defenders, obviously, specifically front court, Isaiah Jackson, Jalen Smith, Obi, you could put in the mix. Miles Turner, great defender. And it's come playoff time, I think they will be fine. I don't expect them to go far.
Yeah.
But the fact that Tyrese has behind him in the front court Jalen or Isaiah off the bench or Miles and Obi, I think that's fine. And then Naismith, he's obviously very capable defender. But yeah, it's not so much
about Bruce Brown.
Oh my God, how could we forget?
The acquisition in the free agency, he's he can
great
guard
defender.
He can guard 1 to 5 and or at least up until the power forward or 2 to 5, whatever it is. He can guard a number of positions, play a number of positions on the offensive side of the ball as well. So I think he's underrated in that aspect. So I completely forgot about him, just went way over my head. But
yeah, I did too.
Benedict Mathurin as well. Didn't mention him. He's had a bit of a down year, but I think he'll
has his moments. Yeah, he's a spark plug. But Benny. It's his sophomore year, so maybe sophomore year blues, but I love that. I love that guy.
I think he definitely has a lot of star potential, and I think,
he could be the second star.
I think Rick Carlisle, he didn't put him in the game for a certain period of time. He left Buddy Hield out there, and Buddy Hield was just bricking up everything, but it ended up working out. They won the game, but, it's one of those things. I think
he was benched last year, 6 man, so it's, they're giving him the keys. They're riding or die with Benny, but, it will come. He'll start making his shots, and then we'll remember why he was in the Rookie of the Year conversation for sure.
The one player, he's the one player on that team that probably doesn't move the ball as much.
No, he doesn't.
He's a ball stopper.
He's a Donovan Mitchell.
He's a ball stopper in the sense
he's a shot creator.
Yeah, he likes he's more of an ISO player than he is. Obviously,
that's why I like him. I'm not gonna lie. I love my good brand of basketball to watch, but I do like people naturally players who score. This guy right here, favorite player of all time, Kyrie. favorite play growing up. And then like I always just like my DeMar DeRozan. Maybe that's why I went towards Benedict. Is like I was like, this kid, he's gonna be so
got
cool.
Shades of those guys, yeah,
yeah.
for sure. But like I said, I don't think necessarily it's a detriment to that team, or he can definitely obviously reach his full potential. But I just think
he is a ball stopper.
compared to like the rest of the guys and what Tyrese tries to bring out of every single player on that roster by like just giving up the rock, finding the best open shot, best shot possible. When he does get to Benedict Mathurin, sometimes he doesn't want to make that extra pass, and he's dribbling it, trying to like create something. And he does create. He's like I said, he's a really good off the ball shot, on the ball shot creator. But it's just, does it fit in with that scheme of that team and that?
Hallie wants him to succeed as well. Like I've heard him talk about Benny in his rookie year. He was like, he's like a gym rat. Like he does not leave the gym. He's got to like help push this team like towards playoff success. And
there was one thing that he said. He goes, Benedict Mathurin came up to him after a game, and he goes, he didn't feel like he got the ball enough, and Hallie made it an emphasis the next game to start finding him.
That's your point guard you want on your team.
100%. That's the kind of guy you want to play with, like a guy that that recognizes that and is willing to put the process in play to be able to obviously help that out. But moving on.
Hello, yes, you at home. This is Commissioner of the NBA speaking to you, Adam Silver. Here's a message in courtesy of BenchMob in collaboration with the NBA Store. When BenchMob hits 1,000 subscribers, they'll be giving away a free NBA jersey to a lucky subscriber. So just do all the things listed on the screen.